Hello, my name is Peter Histed. I'm a Wiltshire citizen and resident of Trowbridge. A few months ago, I asked that the wool not be pulled over our eyes in the case of the Trowbridge multi-storey car park. In October 25, Wiltshire Council informed Trowbridge Council that there was an intention to dispose of the car park. Trowbridge Town Council debated this issue, and although not unanimously, they decided to support that disposal. There's a high cost to run the car park. There is no parking income. There was a rapid process to make that decision. All financial aspects and the business case were secret. The covenant for free parking would dissolve if a transfer of ownership took place to the owner of Castle Place. The proposal would need to be funded by taxpayer money. A full council extraordinary meeting was held on the 7th of this month, January. The extraordinary meeting was to agree a 2.5 million spend to enable the transfer of the car park, meaning that the transfer would take place with a sum of £2.5 million being given to the owner of Castle Place. So that meeting incorporated 91 councillors and a chairman with a casting vote if needed. The case was made by Helen Belcher and supported by members of the Cabinet of Wiltshire Council. A debate took place and a decision was made. And it's worth pointing out that the business case stated was that for a cost of £2.5 million to be transferred with the car park now, it would be less expensive, a potential £8 million to be spent later on maintaining and repairing the car park, possibly rebuilding it with no parking income. So that business case has not been substantiated, and therefore there are question marks over that case. So what is the covenant that we know exists?
In the early 1970s, the car park at St Stephen's was built along with the shopping centre, and there was a contract entered into between the owner of the shopping centre and West Wiltshire District Council, as was, so that the owner of the shopping centre, for example, had obligations to the council, including things like supply of electricity, and the council had obligations back in terms of allowing private car parking for free.
That's a very simplified explanation, but I can summarise by saying if Wiltshire Council owns the car park and Patet Limited owns Castle Place, the covenant stays in place and parking is free. So a couple of key points. Councillors from across the whole of Wiltshire attended the meeting, and I believe those councillors looked at the case carefully, made a decision accordingly, but understood that they did not want Wiltshire Council to impose changes in their own areas without the support of the rest of councillors across the county. Very, very important. And I believe that the case in Trowbridge has been impacted by the views of those councillors across the county. But the business case, weak. There were very few opposing arguments for the transfer of £2.5 million of taxpayers' money. But there are many more objecting arguments, and I would call out a couple of them. Councillor Kluwer mentioned in detail that there was no compelling business case. Councillor Munns asked for the decision to be deferred until the business case could be properly understood, and that was rejected. And many councillors, including Councillor Vaughan, who had been campaigning for a proper decision to take place on the disposal of the multi-storey car park, and was commended for that campaign. So what does Wiltshire Council think is the best option? Wiltshire Council does not know what citizens would like. What do citizens want for the site? Wiltshire Council has not considered the impact on Wiltshire and Trowbridge citizens. What is the financial business case? The business case was weak and lacked detail. So what does Wiltshire Council really think?
If we are successful in negotiating the transfer of the car park to the owner of the shopping centre, clearly the responsibility for the car park is no longer ours. So it becomes entirely up to the owner of the shopping centre and what they choose to do with that site.
Does that sound like a great option for Trowbridge? The owner of Castle Place will be able to do anything that they want with that site, subject to planning. Therefore, citizens don't really get a say in what happens to an important and potentially valuable site. So the extraordinary meeting took place on the 7th of January. The vote, after 2 hours of debate, ended up being for transferring the car park plus 2.5 million of taxpayers' money, 45 votes, and against 46 votes, including the casting vote of the chairman. Therefore, the proposal was rejected. That means the covenant stays. So what about the future? What's next? Wiltshire Council will probably try another business case and resubmit. Have your say now. Please fill in the poll, make your views known. It's unlikely that there will be a public consultation, even though this is important. Share the poll with friends, get their buy-in. Ensure that we as Wiltshire citizens receive a transparent process that works for everyone. And ensure that the best outcome is achieved for everyone. Thank you.